to start off by saying there originally was never going to be a Resident Evil 2. Instead, another game was in the works known simply as Resident Evil 1.5. Some elements of the original build are still retained in Resident Evil 2, and there were also some major differences. For instance, Police Chief Brian Irons was a supportive character rather than a total dickhole, and the character of Claire Redfield did not exist. Instead, there was a similar character named Elza Walker, but since Capcom wanted the game to tie into the first game somehow, she was retold into Chris Redfield's younger sister. Oh, and the footage you're seeing now? Yeah, this is some of the only footage of the game that exists. But we're not here to talk about what could have been. We're here to talk about what is. And a little warning. Unlike last video where the stories were so similar I could just skim through them both, here the stories differ enough to warrant their own synopsis. So don't be surprised if I break this into separate videos. Now for the longest time, and even the novel follows this, everyone thought that the correct scenario for this game was Leon A and Claire B. But thanks to Resident Evil 6, we now know that the correct scenario is the completely opposite. Claire A, Leon B. So let's take a look by starting with Claire's story. It's been about 2 months since the incident at the mansion, and now the T-virus has gotten into Raccoon City. This results in panic, riots in the streets, zombies and monsters roaming around.
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria!
Too bad 19-year-old college student Claire Redfield doesn't know about this. She's come to Raccoon City looking for Chris, though I wouldn't be surprised if someone thought it was because she saw that robot chicken skin. First place she goes is the diner, and instantly spots a zombie chewing on a waitress. She can't get out the way she came because she's boxed in by more zombies, so out the back door. Here she meets rookie police officer Leon Kennedy reporting for his first day on the job. I'll talk about why he's on the streets later. Anyway, Leon saves Claire from zombies by putting a bullet in its face, and the two head to a conveniently placed police car and speed off. As the two catch their breath, they introduce each other. And then he cops out there. Do you normally keep your guns in the glove box? I guess Leon forgot one of the rules of Zombieland, check the back seat, because the zombie lunges at them, causing them to crash. But hey, the crash kicks out the zombie. There's something good there, right? Now if only that truck would stop. Now if only that truck would stop. Oh wait, the driver's a zombie. Wait, hang on, zombies can drive? Yep, they can drive. Claire and Leon get out of the car not 2 seconds before the truck hits and explodes, separating them. And this is where the paths differ. Claire and Leon are now alone in a city that has been infested by zombies. Well, times like this, there's only one thing to do.
Here we go, one more time, everybody's feeling fine. Here we go now. Yes, here we go. When Ticket's got the flow. Put your head to the beat, we got everything you need. Here we go now. Yes, here we go. When Ticket's got the flow. Here we go, just one more time, and everybody's feeling fine. Here we go now. Here we go, yeah. If you
What am I doing? There's zombies and they're looking to chew on a super hot heroin. I gotta get the hell out of here. Claire makes her way to a nearby gun shop where the owner offers to keep her safe from the zombies. Good, a gun shop. We can loot for bullets. Just as Claire goes to leave, the zombies burst through the window, making dinner of the shop owner. Well, sucks to be you. After a while, Claire will make it to the police station where Leon told her to go earlier, thinking it would be safe. Upon arriving, she meets a cop named Marvin Brana, who was supposed to be Leon's superior before everything went pear-shaped. He tells Claire everything that happened from the stars to the mansion to now, and tells her to go find more survivors. Well, we got other things to do, like find out where the hell Chris is. Claire makes her way to the stars office, surprised it's still here considering that after the events of the first game she finds out the unit disbanded, and finds Chris's journal. Let's read it. As both characters have figured out, the police station is not safe. Granted, it's safer than the streets outside, but they still don't want to be in here for any longer than they have to. So it's time to find out what was that on the window? I'm sure it's nothing. What the fuck? Ladies and gentlemen, meet the liquor. The final stage of zombie evolution. Do you see how they got the name? Yeah, the French kiss of death. Anyway, they're a little more durable than your average zombie, but still, you want to be careful with them because holy fuckballs can they hurt. Claire will eventually spot a little girl running around and being hounded by zombies. Leon will meet her and she delivers the news. Leon gives Claire a radio so they can stay in contact with each other. And then we meet Police Chief Brian Irons.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I thought you were another one of those zombies.
Are you Chief Irons?
Yes, that's me. And just who are you? No, don't bother telling me. It makes no difference. You'll end up just like all the others. That's the mayor's daughter. I was told to look after her, but I failed miserably. Just look at her. She was a true beauty. Her skin nothing short of perfection. But it will soon putrefy and she will turn into a zombie within the hour like all the others.
There must be some way to stop it.
In a manner of speaking, there is. Either by putting a bullet through her brain, or by decapitating her completely. And to think that taxidermy used to be my hobby.
Creeps me the fuck out. Claire then meets a little girl in one of the back rooms of the chief's office. How the hell she got back there, I have no idea. Anyway, the little girl introduces herself as Sherry Birkin, the daughter of two of the Umbrella Corporation's top scientists, William and Annette. Sherry has been hiding out at the police station since the zombies first came to town. It was her mom's idea, but she says that there's something worse than the zombies out here. Whatever it is picks that moment to roar and scare the kid off. Claire meets up with Sherry again, but the kid is still understandably frightened, so she runs off on her own. By the way, you can actually play Sherry during this part of the game, and she rocks. She can't use any weapons, but she is a sponge, taking very little damage when she gets hit. I guess even Capcom didn't want to end up killing off a little kid like that. Now if this was The Walking Dead, that would be an entirely different story. When we visit Marvin again, we get a close-up look at what happens when someone turns. And it ain't pretty. Claire and Sherry eventually meet up again, just as Claire finds a secret passage to Chief Iron's underground lair, where we see what he meant earlier by taxidermy being his favorite hobby. He doesn't exactly say it, but he makes it pretty damn clear that he intends to rape, kill, and stuff Claire. But she's saved because earlier something put the something in the chief, and now it's popping out like a fucking chest burster. Claire follows it down to the sewers where it's grown into this thing. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, guys and girls, meet the G-Virus embryo. Let's diverge to talk about the G-Virus for a moment, shall we? The G-Virus is the creation of William Birkin and is a deadlier, more potent version of the T-Virus, but rather than acting on a cellular level, the G-Virus is DNA-based. William tried to keep some Umbrella soldiers from taking the virus, but he got shot for his troubles and the virus was taken anyway. He only managed to save one vial, which he used on himself to heal his wounds and get back at the soldiers, but in doing so, he turned into a monster and slaughtered them all. And what did I mean when I said the G-Virus is DNA-based? Simple. The original host of the G-Virus can only pass it on to a person carrying an exact match of his or her DNA. Anyone else is rejected, as we saw with the Chief. That means that... Nope. Not going there. Nope. Not going there. The girls head into the sewers where we meet Daddy Dearest, and he's looking a little rough. They escape, but Sherry gets pulled into a drain. Claire cannot keep tabs on this kid. Sherry finds her way to the dump just as the floor collapses. And then here comes Daddy Dearest. Okay, I've got to talk about this. Even though it's a little fucked up. You remember how earlier I said that the G-Virus is DNA-based? That means that Birkin can only pass it on to someone with an exact copy of his DNA. Can't pass it on to his wife because she would be rejected like Chief Irons was earlier. That just leaves his 12-year-old daughter. And it's not like he just put the G-Virus embryo into her skin and burrows it in. No. He implants the thing into her body. I would like to once again remind you all that Sherry, in this game, is only 12 years old. And the G-Virus gets passed on through insemination, based on whether or not the genes of the two hosts match. And I did not word it like that to make a joke. This shit is actually fucking happening. Let's forget the fact that Daddy Dearest is now a monster and focus on the real facts here. He has more or less impregnated a little girl with a monster embryo. That is some of the most fucked up shit I have seen in a Resident Evil game to date. She's a little girl, and the G-Virus is passed on through the equivalent of father-daughter incest. Capcom, what the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway, let's forget about that and get back to the story. Claire meets up with Sherry's mom, Annette, and after a little misunderstanding, they decide to help each other, if only to save Sherry. Annette also tells us why Daddy Dearest is the way he is. I already talked about that, so let's move on. Claire finds Sherry because she gets jumped by a giant fucking alligator. Fortunately, there's a handy-dandy propane tank here just ready to go kerblooey.
Smile, you son of a...
You know, I hear alligator meat's pretty tasty. Sherry's just fine on her, so she seems, so let's mosey on along, shall we? The girls find their way to a tram that heads underground. As they go, Daddy Dearest decides to show up, and we see that the G-Virus changes the host further than the normal mutation. This fight can be a pain in the ass, especially if you've blown your ammo, but sometimes you can get really lucky like this guy.
Oh, God damn! Orange.
It's the what? It's the pants! It's the pants! It's the pants!
Claire fights him off, but now we got a new problem. Sherry isn't feeling too good. She's fading in and out of consciousness and is complaining about stomach pains. No. The tram stops at, you guessed it, one of Umbrella's underground labs. Claire leaves Sherry in a small office while she goes off to find some sort of cure. It's here in the labs where Claire crosses paths with a new variation of liquors as well as mutant plants that are an offshoot of the plant enemy I forgot to mention in the last review. Claire meets up with Annette, who blames Claire for killing Daddy Dearest. Annette also has the last sample of the G-Virus. But it turns out that Billy Boy is alive and well and has lost all traces of cognitive thought as the first thing he does is kill Annette. With her dying breaths, Annette tells Claire how to make an antidote for the G-Virus. And go figure, as soon as Annette dies, the self-destruct sequence starts. Get used to that blaring alarm, we'll be hearing it for a while. Claire gives Leon a call and tells her where to find Sherry. Claire can't join them yet, she's got other things to take care of. There, we got the antidote. Gotta get to Sherry before the embryo grows up. Claire makes her way to the elevator that leads out of the labs, but gets intercepted by Daddy Dearest. And there's less than 5 minutes left until we go boom. After dealing enough damage to him, he'll turn into... what is this thing? An angry zombie Mufasa? Anyway, Claire defeats him and she gets on the elevator, which leads to a train station. Time to get the hell out of the city. She jumps onto the train just before it leaves the platform. Hey, has anyone else noticed the bandage on Leon's shoulder? It's time to give Sherry that cure, and it works almost instantly. I would like to point out, though, that this cure didn't destroy the G-Virus embryo, but rather just stunted its growth. Sherry will have the G-Virus inside her body for the rest of her life. It just won't go any further than it already has. Claire and Sherry hug, and this brings Claire's story to an end. There's still one more story to look at, but unfortunately I'm going to have to put that into a separate video. So stay tuned for part 2 of the Resident Evil 2 review.
After these messages, we'll be right back.